Hey divas, welcome back to Women Unleash, where our inner strength meets unapologetic confidence. We're in our week 26 of our year-long journey, of our transformative journey. And last week we paused to rediscover our why. Why we have those values, our motivations, we have all our purposes written down, why we want to become an unstoppable woman, why we want to become the entrepreneur, why we want to become the renowned makeup artist, why we're applying for that new position, why we want to be the manager in your organization, why you want to be the CEO, why you want to invest in that property business, why you want to start a new line of business. And now we've rediscovered our why. We've gone back to our drawing board of what's, made us to start this journey at the beginning. But discovering our why is not just what gets us to the destination. That is just the beginning. And I said clarity alone is not the destination. Purpose only becomes visible when it begins to inform our decision. Our purpose becomes visible when it begins to inform our decision. Remember that this month is about purpose. It says purposeful living and aligned action. Aligning our actions to our purpose. That is what this month is about. So this week 26, our topic will be intentional decision making. Intentional decision making. And I said, intentional women don't drift. They decide. Yeah. Sometimes we find it difficult to make decisions. We find it difficult to own our decision or own what we say. But intentional women have to make those hard decisions. The intentional women have to decide to say, who is going to follow me on the journey? Who am I going to, is going to pause along the line? What am I going to take along to the journey? What am I going to drop behind? And that brings us to our first topic. And I said, why decision making matters. Every day we make different decisions. We make a lot of decisions, whether you know it or you don't know it. You make decisions about what you want to eat. You make decisions about what you want to wear, where you want to go, how you want to live your life, what time you want to get to work, what do you want to do when you're at work. You make some that are purposeful, some are just flimsy decisions, whether big, whether small. But most of the time, we always overlook the indecisions that we make. And those are the things that will either make us or break us. Because we already know that decision will make us or break us. So our indecisions are actually, the threat to our success. Because we need to own it. Remember, they say you're accountable for your action and inaction. So whatever you make up your mind to do, or the ones you didn't even plan to do, but you ended up doing, you are still accountable for it. I said, purpose gives us a filter. Instead of asking, is this urgent? We need to be asking ourselves, is this aligned? Is it aligned to my vision? Is it aligned to my goal? Is it aligned to where I'm going to? Remember last week I said, you have 2 courses you want to do, and your desire is to become a medical doctor. And you have coding, you have understanding human behavior. So both of them can be good at the end of the day. But which is aligned to your purpose, which is aligned to your destination, is understanding human behavior. You don't need coding for now. In future, you might need coding to be able to write those algorithms, which you don't even need. Others can write that for you. You focus on understanding the human beings you'll be treating, because you'll be dealing with human beings, not computers. Do you see what we're saying? So you need to be deciding on what aligns with your vision, what aligns with your purpose, what is going to take you there. Because every intentional decision is a vote for the woman that you're becoming. So every time you wake up, you make a decision that moves you forward in your purpose. That is a vote. That is a pat on the back for the woman you're becoming. Next one, I said choosing from values, not fear. And I said one of the greatest threats to intentional living is fear-based decision making. Fear of losing friends, fear of not being enough, fear of missing out, fear of being misunderstood. So on Sunday, I was teaching the children about, values, and standing up for what you believe in, standing up, for your school values, standing up for what the word of God says. And sometimes it will cost you when you stand for the truth. Sometimes it will cost you even when you refuse to do what everybody else is doing, because you know that that is wrong. For example, as a student, you know that being mean to another person, bullying another child, that is against your school values. And your friends are saying, if you want to be in that clique, you need to do that to that girl or do that to that boy, and you refuse to do it. Yes, you lose out on friends. And one of the little ones said, oh, I'm not going to have any friend. I said, yes, but God knows how to bring the right and good friends across your way, which is the same thing. When you stand your ground, you know where you're going, you rediscover where you're going to, why you've decided that you want to invest in that property business. Then you need to make up your mind not to do anything dubious. You need to make up your mind about the people you're going to work with, the people that are going to, they're aligned with where your purpose and your vision, and the ones you need to cut off. You're going to lose friends. You're going to, not everybody will follow you through, because not everybody wants to be people of integrity. But you know what? The right people, the right connection, God will bring your way. And you know the way life works. If He aligns you and brings you to the people that will take you to your destination. I said urgency often misguides the same as importance. Intentional decision making invites us to pause before saying yes. That pause is not weakness, it is wisdom. We've been saying that for the past couple of weeks, when we've been talking about walking in our inner self, appreciating ourselves, rediscovering ourselves, feeling ourselves up, and even in our mindfulness. You taking a pause, you having a clear mind and thinking before making that decision. It is not weakness on your part. It's not every time that people ask for things that you should be able, you should just say yes to. You need to weigh it. Sometimes people will call you, you'll be doing something, especially with children. It's very common, isn't it? You might be cooking and you have targets, you have other things you want to do, and your little one's going, Mommy, come and see, come and see, come and see. And you rush down there and you find out, oh, I just made this Lego. Really? In the middle of cooking? Yes, it's a nice thing to call me today. But at that point, was it that urgent? Could it not wait? Is it life-threatening? Could it not wait? So sometimes you act, people make things sound as if they are so urgent and you rush to it. And sometimes it's more like a waste of your time, because that could have waited. It's not the end of the world. It could have waited and you could have been able to do it. Or your way, your way to from London to Newcastle, and somebody said, "Oh, I'm just going to follow you, and then I'll drop off in Southampton." I don't know if Southampton is still on the way where you're coming, traveling from London to Newcastle, but perhaps it's not on the same road that you're going to. Sunderland is already supposed to, or Newcastle supposed to be 4 hours journey, and that detour that you have to take to go drop that person because you couldn't make up your mind to say, sorry sweetheart, I can drop you at the train station, but I can't take you there because it's not it's not on my way. But the fear of not having good friends, the fear of missing that, the fear of saying, oh, she said no to me, you pick her up and go, and then perhaps you had 2 hours to your journey, because it's good M4M everywhere. You can always connect back to where you want to be at the end of the day, but it adds to your journey. And at the end of the day, it takes you longer to get to your destination. That is time wasting. Sweetheart, we do not have time to waste. We know where we are going. We know what we want to do. We have our plans. We have, our roadmap. We have all our systems and structures in place. We have no time to waste. That's why we talked about boundaries. If you go and read it, I see the people that need to come in and the people that need to cut off. And that brings us to the cost of unintentional living, which is one of the things I've said. It costs you time when you make unintentional decision, or when you can't stand your ground to say no. It costs you time, it costs you money, it costs you effort, it drains you. It drains you and it makes you stressed emotionally. You're pulled right and at the end of the day, it takes you, when it's taking you long to get to your destination, sometimes you get frustrated and you see that the people you started this journey with, they've already gone past. Yeah, you're not weighing yourself, compare yourself with others, but you know that there are some decisions or indecisions that you have made that have wasted your time and are costing you. They're costing you. I said unintentional living comes with a cost. It misaligns commitment It's chronic overwhelm, emotional resentment, loss of peace. When boundaries are unclear, purpose becomes diluted. So you need to give boundaries. You need to learn to say no without feeling guilty, without feeling unapologetic to anyone. You need to say no to things that do not align with your purpose, with your dreams, and not taking you to where you need to go. It is not being rude, it is not being weak, it is just you standing. And when people know that you know where you're going to, when people know that you are clear, your vision is clear, you know your direction, and you cannot be pushed around, people will stop bringing nonsense around you. Each aligned decision compounds over time, shaping your habits, identity, and legacy. Remember, a few months ago we talked about aligning your daily habits with your purpose, with your vision. Now is you aligning yourself with your purpose, making intentional decision that will take you to that promised land. I want to be an advanced nut practitioner. Why should I be wasting my time, learning about dentistry? Really? That does not, align with your line and your purpose. You want to be learning about, you want to be learning, courses that core values, about patient care, patient safety, things that will take you to your destination, not things that will take you far away from it. Yeah, dentistry might be helpful in future if you decide to go and, head a nursing home or head a GP surgery. But sweetheart, that will be at the end of the day. It will be added addition. Right now, you want to invest your time, your effort, everything into that purpose where you are going to. So this week, as we engage with our worksheet, let which we need to be thinking about areas in our life that needs clearer, more intentional decision making. Is it your right? Is it your time? Is it your relationship? Is it your workload? Is it rest? Because the clarity begins with honesty. We need to be honest with ourselves. Which areas of my life need clarity? Which areas of my life need intentional decision making? I think one of mine is resting, conscious and making intentional decision to rest at appropriate time. And one is also, working on my time. Yeah. Maybe by the time my time management is getting better, but working on my time to fulfill my purpose. So, sweetheart, as we go this week, remember that intentional choices protect your peace. Boundaries support your purpose, and wise decision compound over time. An intentional woman does not drift. She makes decision. You make decision, you stand by it, you walk by it. So as you go this week, don't be moved. Don't shrink. Do not be afraid to say no. You rediscover your why. So it is now time for you to align your purpose by making intentional decision. So, sweetheart, till until I see you next week, keep unleashing your world and keep making intentional decision. Love you.